Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Tom Pardane, president of the A.J. Moore Academies Business Advisory Board, and I've got the start of this program. Please keep eating. We're going to make a few introductions and then get into our scholarships, but help yourself to more beverage over there if you need it or anything. It's pretty informal. First, at the head table, I'd like to mention Congressman Bill Flores. He'll be introduced before his remarks a little bit later by Brian Price, who is the Business Advisory Board Vice President. He actually does probably more of the legwork than I do, so we appreciate him. And over here on my right, your left, Wanda Brown, who is kind of the Career Academy director. She's actually moving to Waco High to be over their Career Academies, I believe. And next to her is Dr. Bill Shepard, the principal of University High School, and Angela Ryer, Dean of Academies, who got me into this some 14 years ago, so she's the culprit. And Ken Morby, who you'll hear from momentarily, is the chairman of our Fundraising and Scholarship Committee, does a great job for us every year, and without his committee's good work, we wouldn't be having near the celebration that you're fixing to hear about. Some other people I'd like to mention, Donna McKeithen. Where's Donna? Donna is the Director of Career Technology over in all of WISD, and we're glad to have her here. And if you wanted to know who's responsible for that food you're enjoying, Gail Crompton and Yolanda Gamble, if you'd stand up, please, and a bunch of their career and technology students. The young ladies that served you and helped you out, and the men that worked the grill with me earlier this evening did a great job, and we're very appreciative of them. I'd like to also mention we have two tables from the Brazos Higher Education Service Corporation, which is my employer when I'm not doing things like this. Murray Watson, president, and I won't go around and mention, but they are also going to be awarding a Brazos Education Foundation scholarship to one of our recipients today, and we're excited about that. It's a 4-year scholarship. It includes books. They do have to go to school and pass, I understand, but anyway, it's a great opportunity as well, and we're thankful for them. So without any more ado, I will bring up Ken Morby, our chairman of the Scholarship and Fundraising Committee. He is going to call out the names, and Mike Kaufman will come up at the end of that to give the Education Foundation scholarship. So, Ken?
Again, good morning. I appreciate the thanks for the work of the scholarship committee and fundraising and scholarship committee, but also I'm not going to go through the names, but I want to thank, because most of them don't necessarily want that, I want to thank the businesses and individuals who have been sponsors, and that's giving, just simply giving at a certain level. I want to thank also all the folks who participated in the fun run, the golf tournament. Do we do anything else like that? No. But thank those folks who made that possible, because those events were also created funds so that we could give scholarships today. So, without any further ado, I'll ask Itzel Reyes Gonzalez to please come up. Okay, and this is for $750, which you can see.
Congressman Flores is a special coin. Congrats.
Okay, Anthony Allbiter, and his scholarship is for $750 as well. Darius Sanders, and the scholarship is for also $750. And next is Edwin Vieda, $750. Nakia Portis, $750. Diana Elias, $750. Kimberly Vega, $750. And Larry Wells, $750.
Congratulations. Feel like a rough group.
Arnie Gonzalez, $750. Daisy Ramirez, $750. Karina Contreras, $750 as well. And Karina Galvan, $750.
Thank you.
Khadijah Muhammad, $750.
It's a lot of check to hold in.
Yeah.
Don't try to catch that.
Yeah. Guima Barrera. And actually, yes, is it $1,500? $1,000. And it's Hema, not Gima. Sorry. And if I remember, she's going to be president of the United States. Was that right? Oh, okay. I thought it was you. Cassia Landon, $1,000. Yes, that particular scholarship comes from Hillcrest especially.
She's a
Okay.
Health Careers Academy superstar.
Orlando Rodriguez, $1,000. Jose Navarrete, also $1,000.
Great shirt. Congratulations. Did you give it today?
Yes, it is. Good for you.
That's
That one. And this also is a special scholarship, the Johnny Strong Scholarship. Johnny Strong was an A.J. Moore student who was killed in Iraq some years ago, and a scholarship fund has been maintained related to him and the gift of his life to the country. Catherine Delgado, $1,000. That's,
You're the future
she's the
president.
future president.
We need.
I don't see how I could have confused you with someone else. If anybody wants to know what that's all about, you can ask one of us as we did the interviewing. And it's interesting. Yesenia Lares Martinez, $1,000.
Thank you.
And Devin Gibson, $1,000. And America Soto, $1,000. And with a name like that, she may want to run for president.
I'll be your candidate.
Or, yes.
That's right, vote for America.
That's it. Cassandra Reyes Gonzalez, also $1,000. Rolanda Rodriguez, also $1,000.
Advisory Board Honor Scholarship.
Okay, this is an advisory board honor scholarship.
Did you get it? You wanna do that one again?
I got it.
Oh, did you? You sure? Let's do it again.
I'll mark it.
Just in case.
Good job.
Congrats.
And Landria Gilmore, $1,500.
This is the wrong.
Yes.
That's right.
And this is the Ron Smith Memorial Scholarship, and many of you will remember Ron as a much beloved teacher at A.J. Moore.
He actually started the VITA income tax program, and we miss him today, but this young lady donated about 120 or 50 hours as the student manager, managing 50, 60 kids 3 nights a week doing free income tax preparations. About $4 million in research.
And by IRS standards, it's the largest operation
school
in this,
bank
yes,
country.
in the country.
About 1900, is that it?
No, I just need to ask Mike Cochran
Oh, yeah. Mike.
from Brazos Education Foundation to come forward and do some other presentations.
Oh, that's right. You gotta do these two first here. Let me first say that the 23 or so scholarship winners that are out there, we're so proud of you, but you were selected as finalists out of 50 original applicants, and they were all hard choices. We deliberated a lot. The oral presentations were incredible. We met the future President of the United States and some others. But Mike Kaufman is here to give the Brazos Education Foundation scholarship, and they were so impressed with the finalists that an additional $10,000 was awarded to the runners-up. Each school, 9 schools, had 3 runners-up, and so we have $500 scholarships for the 2 runners-up. Cassia Landon, I think we've heard that name before. And Rolando Rodriguez, I think that's a familiar name as well. The unique thing about this Brazos Education Foundation scholarship is each winner gets an extended family. We mentor them, we send them care packages ahead of finals week. We probably remember their birthday. And we call them in a couple times a year to meet the new scholars and we've done the ropes course at Baylor. We were on a barge a couple weeks ago. It's just really, their family gets a whole lot bigger, and we feel like that adds value in helping get them across the line. So this year's winner, we're proud to announce Yesenia Laris Martinez. Thank you, Yesenia. Oh, yeah.
I know you're in a hurry.
Don't try and cash that. Well, thank you. That concludes our scholarship recipients, the really fun part, and now we have a great program for you coming up. If my math's correct, that's about $20,500 we were able to award this year, thanks to Ken and the entire advisory board's benefit. And now I'm going to call on my vice president, Brian Price, and co-worker, by the way, and he is going to introduce our keynote speaker.
First of all, I want to congratulate all of you students. You've worked hard for this, and it's quite an accomplishment. The advisory board, business advisory board, let me talk real briefly about that, helps to bridge the gap between school and the business world. And our vision and our goals and what we try to do is we try to make education relevant so that when the kids get out into the business world, they have a job to go to, that they can dig right in and get right going. we try to expose them to certain knowledge, certain skill sets. We try to, we work with the curriculum to try to make it relevant and current. And we, all of the students participate in internships to give them real world experiences in that. Now that you guys are graduating, it's up to you what you do with that. You need to work hard and strive to succeed in doing that. You need to grab hold of a vision, set goals for yourself, and then work towards those goals each and every day. Vince Lombardi made the note of the fact that the dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. He additionally said that hard work is the price we must pay for success, and I think that you're able to accomplish anything if you're willing to pay the price. And now I want to introduce our guest speaker today, keynote speaker, Congressman Bill Flores. I'll give you a brief bio. Many of you may not know where his roots come from. He was actually raised in the Texas Panhandle. In Stratford, Texas, he grew up on a ranch. On that ranch, he worked very hard. At the age of 10, he was delivering newspapers. At the age of 13, he was working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, driving tractors, building fences, and taking care of cattle. He grew up with that strong work ethic. He had a family. He had five brothers and sisters, and that hard work ethic led him to a successful career. Through his hard work and determination, he was able to save money. He was able to pay for his own way to get through Texas A&M University with a degree in accounting. He then went on to Houston Baptist University and received an MBA. He has held many different jobs in the oil and gas industry and worked in that capacity for over 3 decades in senior level management capacities. He has served on many different governments boards, charities, not-for-profit organizations, and he always strives to give back to the communities for which he serves. His hobbies include snow skiing, and he's an instrument-rated private pilot. He's a husband, a father, and a grandfather. Congressman Flores retired from a successful career in the private sector to run for Congress in order to help restore America's promise, prosperity, and security for each one of us and for our children. In November 2010, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, and he is currently serving in his second term representing the 17th Congressional District of Texas. He serves on the House Budget, Natural Resources, and Veteran Affairs Committees. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome the Honorable Congressman Bill Flores.
Well, howdy everybody. It's great to be here, and Brian, thank you for the nice introduction. It's an honor to be able to speak to a group of students that's getting ready to graduate and also to receive scholarships. Before we go too much farther, I have a couple of introductions to make. I've got a couple of my team with me here today, and I'm very proud of the work that they do here in McLennan County and in District 17, so I'd like to point them out. Tim Head. Tim, where are you seated? Tim is our district director and runs operations in the district from here in our Waco office. And we have Luke Conley. Luke, would you stand up? Luke is a field representative, and you see him everywhere around this area, and he's trying to make sure that if somebody's got a question about what we're doing, that he's Luke on the spot with the answers. I'd like to start this discussion today on an interactive basis, and so I'm going to ask the scholarship recipients to stand up. Well, don't be shy. Okay, now stay standing for a minute, and so I'd like to ask a few questions of you, and you just raise your hand if you would, so we can get an idea as to what our honorees are like today. How many of you are going to be going to a four-year university or college? Virtually all of you. How many of you are going to a technical school or a community college? A couple of you. How many of you are going straight into the workforce afterwards? So that's good. How many of you are the first generation in your families to go to college? This is where life change happens, ladies and gentlemen. So now, how many of you are confident in your future? Man, that's awesome. I like that. So, how many parents do we have in the audience? Okay, how many of you parents are happy that these kids are getting ready to graduate and that they got a scholarship? Well, you could, what's that? Okay, you can be seated now, thank you. I'm here to do three things. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you. Secondly, I'd like to challenge you. And then thirdly, I'd like to give you some things to think about as we go forward. And before we get too much further, I've got one more thing to do. I'm going to ask you scholarship recipients to please stand up again one more time. I meant to do this earlier, sorry about that. You're going to get your exercise today. Now, I want you to give your family members a big round of applause for helping you to get to where you are today. Okay. Now how many folks do we have, teachers and faculty and staff do we have here from A.J. Moore? Got a few. I'd like you to give them a round of applause for getting you to this point. And then lastly, I'd like you to give a round of applause to the scholarship donors today. Now you can be seated. Anyway, I want to express my appreciation for the parents and for the family members for the sacrifices that you've made to get these young men and women to where they are today, and for the students and their successes that we're celebrating. I also want to thank the scholarship donors. Gina and I married an educator, and I can tell you that she and I know that education is where life change happens. And we also contribute to scholarships, and we also think that it's very important to help our young men and women move to the next stage. At the end of the day, we want to put them in a position where they can give back as well. I want to congratulate each of the recipients on completing the first stage of your education, because education will happen every day, not only for those of you going on to a 2-year or 4-year school, but when you go into the workforce. Every day is an opportunity for education. Education is an essential building block to becoming a productive part of our American society. You're fortunate because A.J. Moore Academy does a great job in preparing its students for success in the post-secondary education world and also in the workplace. Your studies at A.J. Moore, along with the efforts of the faculty and the staff and administrators, have prepared you well for this time and for this point in time. A.J. Moore has been educating, mentoring, and molding the best and the brightest here in Waco. In a nutshell, you're going to be better prepared to take on a post-secondary education and prepared to take on the challenges that life presents you after that. Most of you will choose or have chosen secondary education programs that are particularly needed in today's economy. Because of the preparation that you've gotten from A.J. Moore, I can tell you that you're going to be equipped to hit the ground running and to make a difference for this world. Now, you understand that you're entering a challenging world, but you're looking forward to taking these challenges on head on and getting prepared by your studies at A.J. Moore and on through post-secondary education is going to help give you the skills that are relevant for today's economic needs. Now, I have some challenges for you. Here's a challenge for you. I want you to think about the dash in your life. Now, what's the dash? Well, a few weeks ago, I attended the memorial for the first responders that were killed in West. And the friends of one of the first responders got up and talked about the dash in his friend's life. The dash being that part of this person's life between the date he was born and the date he left this world. Because a lot of people, when they look at a tombstone, they say, we see when you're born, we see when you die, and we see how long you live. But they don't think about much else. But that dash is the most important part of your life. And so what I would like you to do, to think about, is to create that big, bold dash. And I want to, when people look at your dash in the future, I want them to say, this is what this person did in the world. And they made the world a better place. And they changed lives for the better. So when you're thinking about your life and the dash that you're creating, think about, what am I doing to make the world a better place? What am I doing to change lives for others to make them better in this world? And when I look at this group of recipients, I see a lot of big, bold dashes, even the future president of the United States. And based upon what I saw some of you at A.J. Moore do to respond to the disaster in West, I know we've got some big dashes that are building here. And then when I see about what you do through the VITA program or the VITA program, 2,000 returns, $4 million in refunds, the biggest program in the country. I was honored to be able to speak to this group of student volunteers a couple of years ago. Now, I'm a CPA. I was impressed by how they could churn out returns. It was amazing to see what they could do. And over the 9 years this program has been in existence, they've helped McLennan County taxpayers get $19 million in refunds. And that's pretty impressive. So I want to give you a round of applause for that. So one of the ways to build a big, bold dash is to give back. And so I want to challenge you to give back to your community and to your nation so that you can enable future generations to have the same opportunities that prior generations and the taxpayers and the scholarship donors of this community have given you so that you can make a difference. So make your dash bold and positive. But in order to be in a position to give back, you need to be successful. Now don't freak out just yet. When I talk about success, I'm not saying it needs to be measured in money earned, but it can be also be measured by children raised, student taught, people comforted, lives saved, broken hearts healed, discoveries made, inventions created, and dozens of other actions. So, in order to be successful, I'm going to give you some things to think about. So, and think about these tomorrow when you get up. When you look in the mirror, what am I going to do to start building my dash? And this is all so that you can create that dash. And let's do it sort of like David Letterman's top 10 list. Number 10, trust your instincts, but don't forget to rely on the facts too. Number 9, find mentors in your life and your career. And you've got some good ones here at A.J. Moore. Surround yourself with good people and use those people to build strong teams. Teams are always stronger than individuals. Number 7, remember to help those less fortunate than you. Number 6, remember the unseen folks that make your life work, where they were the people that clean the school, or the people that pick up the trash in the morning in the street, or the people that stock the grocery shelves. They're humans, just like you, and they deserve your respect. Number 5, watch out for excessive pride. And I've got 3 additional comments to say about this. You ought to be very proud of where you are today, but don't let it become excessive pride. Excessive pride leads to arrogance, which leads to narcissism. And I think many of you know the only person who likes an arrogant person is that own arrogant person. And so, and one way to remember to not have a problem with this is always remember, you put your pants on the same way every day, just like everybody else does. So watch out for pride. Number 4, save some time to play. I guess a better way to say this is lead a balanced life. This is something I never was very good at, but I'm telling you what you ought to do. So, but you know, there ought to be work, there ought to be family, there ought to be play. But make sure you in your faith, and make sure you have that right balance there. Number 3, be sure when you love to do it with commitment. Number 2, remember the 10 Commandments. They'll answer every difficult question for you. Number 1, trust your God, live your faith. God put you on this earth for a reason. Find that reason and live it. And I hope that my comments today have been helpful to you as a challenge and as things to think about. And I think if you do these things and live that big, bold dash, that you'll be able to have the same opportunities in this country that many of us have had, and then to give those opportunities to pay it forward for others. So take advantage of those opportunities. Before I close, I'd like to remind everybody in this room to please pray often for our country. Please pray for our military men and women that protect us from foreign threats. Please pray for our first responders that keep us safe here at home. In particular, since I was sworn into office in January of 2011, we've lost 8 military men and women in the war on terror. We've also lost 16 first responders, including 12 that were killed last month in West. And these men, they're all men in this case, fully exemplified the words of Jesus in John 15:13. Greater love hath no one than one who lay down his life for his friends. These 24 men each have big, bold dashes in their lives, and we should consider modeling our lives after the examples they set for us. Once again, congratulations to this year's scholars, and God bless you. Thank you.
We're almost done. I'm going to call up Angela Ryer, Dean of Academies, to make some closing remarks, and we'll cut y'all loose. Angela?
I'll be brief. Thank you, Congressman Flores. We sure appreciate you coming out, and what an inspiring talk. I hope you wrote down those 10 thoughts, students, because they are really, really good. Excellent for you to live by. And he's right. Watch those things. Watch out for excessive pride, because that can kick your butt every time. So be careful of those things, and love those people that have come and helped you. There's so many people at school that have been here for you. Give a hug to your teachers today when you get back to school. A lot of them don't feel the love some days. You know that. And they need to know how much you love and appreciate them. Congressman Flores, so you know that, Yesenia, would you stand a minute, please? There you are. Yesenia, we awarded a scholarship in your name to Yesenia. So, yes, sir. So we wanted to know that she's going to be a great representative for you. And I don't remember where you're going to school right now. Oh, sorry. I did know that. But I did want you to mention that. Sorry, Congressman. Sorry, Dr. Shepard, because he's another Aggie up here, but just wanted you to know that. We awarded not because she was going to UT. But we thank you again for coming. And those members of the board, if you're here, could you please stand? Those that are on the advisory board that work so fearlessly for us. Let's give them a big hand. I cannot begin to tell you that we would not be able to award close to $21,000 in scholarships if it weren't for these dedicated people. And I love that dash thought, Congressman, because the dash is everything they do for our students. I couldn't even begin to tell you all the little things that the board members do that they're not even recognized for. But you know I love you with all my heart and soul, and we are just beginning to grow even further. As you know, A.J. Moore was closed as a building last year. Our students are at University High School. This is the last graduating class under the A.J. Moore name, but the Academy name lives on. In the 9th and 10th grade next year, every single student will be in a wall-to-wall academy. We're going to have a wall-to-wall academy. So we're excited about that. So students have an opportunity to go through a 4-year program. Every student coming to university will have the opportunity to go through a 4-year program and receive a quality education that will help them not only be ready for college, but be ready for a career as well. And if they decide that after they've gone through the 4 years and engineering is boring or accounting is not what they want to do or whatever, it's okay. It saves their parents money so they don't go to college and mess up a few of their years of college. So we want them to feel like they understand what it's like to be in the real world and to be able to be prepared for that. We have had the pleasure of having Dr. Shepard as our principal this past year, and I want to give him time to come and close out for us. Before I do, thank you with all my heart and soul. Thank you for all of you that came here today to celebrate the lives of these students. They know how much I love them. I tell them every day how much I love them. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. And I want them to know that anytime they need any of us back at university to come back over, that we're here for you. And now you've met all these wonderful business people that are here for you as well. So God bless you all, and I'll let Dr. Shepard close out. Thank you.
I just want you to know that if you have a bad first semester at UT, that Congressman Flores and I will personally come and get your stuff and take it all to Texas A&M. Or Baylor. It's been a wonderful year. You know, I couldn't have even dreamed of such a fun, successful year of A.J. Moore Academy coming over and blending with university. It was pretty seamless. Miss Ryer and I have been a great team. It's more like husband and wife sometimes. She reads my mind, I read hers, and then sometimes we spit and spat and fight, and we all get over it. But it's been a great year. The students, the A.J. Moore seniors are wonderful. The things that they brought to university and vice versa, the university shared with A.J. It's just been a tremendous year. And I'm very blessed of having a group of community people that came with A.J. Moore and sponsors like you. And thank you very much for coming. And seniors, you'll always be part of university and A.J. Moore family. Thank you.
We're done. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.